Alright, in the last post, in the last video, I talked about just visually eyeballing, nice relaxed way. The gap on the left is something to fall into. Markets contract, they expand, they contract. Often, once they stop going up, they'll go sideways a bit, build a shelf, and then fall in the gap on the left, and we can follow a market this way, whether it holds or it doesn't hold. So in this video I want to show how we can put gap on the left to use along with swings. So we're layering. So the first thing is nice, easy, relaxed way. We should be able to see that we have a gap on the left. You guys should be able to see we have gap, we have contract, see price, right? This is all gap, and then we go into contraction again. So you see there's this big empty space here. This is all gap. Wow, this is all, we'll call it a shelf, multi-pivot line, just like this. So now that we have the gap on the left, let's combine it with one more thing. Swings. Because if price does decide to break this, I might not want to just have an order in the middle of nowhere with a big stop, right? I might want to be able to follow it into a turn. So now what we're going to look at is swings. And I gave a practice, you can go back and look in one of the blogs, a one-line practice. So what I want to do is, be able to map a new low, confirms the swing high, and then I can project this. Now, when I get two confirmed swings that are relative, right? When I get two confirmed swings that are relative, this is going to be the second part of putting this trade together. What's it telling me? It's telling me I have a continued behavior. All right. What's that mean? That means it went up about this high, made a new low. Went up about this high, made a new low. And you can see the front page. I talk about the principle of continued behavior on the front page. They're selling it at the same spot. You don't have to guess. You don't have to predict. It's just telling you, hey, somebody sold the same exact swing. And so what does that do? That tells us this is what they're doing. So now we can combine this with this. So if price passes through here, and you can get a couple swings like this, selling, the first thing this is telling us is this is what is. So often as traders, we think we have to predict, and it's our downfall. And as price comes up here, we think it's going to go through. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? It's what is. It's what is rather than predicting. And this little one line thing can keep you out of so much trouble. So it's what is. So it's two relative confirmed swings. That's what they're doing until they're not doing it. So as we reach into this gap on the left, we just follow it. And if it breaks that, guess what? It's not doing that anymore. And that can be us following a market into a turn rather than predicting the turn here, predicting it here, predicting it here, predicting it here, It's a much different experience in trading. But you can go back. There's a one-line practice where you just find two relative confirmed swings and you follow it with one line and make observations. I'm combining that with gap on the left here. And I'll usually use a modified shift from the gap for that particular trade. All right, so again, I'm eyeballing gap on the left. See the previous post. It's got me thinking. I'm watching this market. I'm watching this shelf it's holding. I don't know if it will hold or not hold. It breaks. So now what can I do, right? I can identify swings. I can look and see. Do I have swings here? Yeah, I have swings here. Now, this is just the facts, Jack. I'm just connecting them. Price is going down. I mean, if it is to turn up, it has to break that. So this can help you follow a market. It might turn up, might turn up. You know, sometimes you get a real nice swap bar in here like this, and you're like, ah. But until it beats it, now you see it starting. Boom. Now, with something like this, notice I've waited for it to change, and I'll still use swings for an entry. Like so. You don't get stops underneath. Now, it might not work, but I'm just following what the market's telling me, and this is where, I'm also going to combine the next layer. So first we started with gap, then we went into swings, now we do lines. I'm just layering it. Use a modified shift, and I'm going to notice what a beautiful center line this modified shift is making. And so this gives me an idea for a trade using swings and gap on the left. So it's a combination of a few things. Swings to follow a market into the gap on the left, and then line for target, nice center line. So this is a lot different than predicting where the market will go, thinking it's going to turn, having an idea, having a feeling. Right? This is more like a what is. It doesn't always come out as pretty. You don't always get filled. It doesn't always work. But this is following a market. If all you did was practice following these one lines, you're going to learn a lot about swings and be able to create ways to trade from that. So this is how that looks.